Welcome, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our advanced trainings on Thursday. My name is Petra. As always, we are diving deeper into the Healy, different topics. We have covered a lot in the last 10 months. And we finally arrived to the famous MagHealy, if we can say that. So majority of you probably have your beautiful Healy. Oh, I don't have it on me today. I just have my MagHealy today with me. But your beautiful wearables, so your personal Healys. But tonight we are going to dive deeper into the MagHealy beautiful device. If you don't have it yet, that's okay. I would really recommend you get one if you don't have it yet. And we're going to touch base on tonight why that is a bit, not a lot, but because we have a topic that is introducing MagHealy, so we can actually start understanding what's the difference and why and how it affects the body. But tonight we're not going to go into the body as much because we are tackling the atmosphere programs and the space around us. So we're going to look at exactly what the space does, how it influences us, how we influence the space, and are they interconnected? Why do we want to actually bother and think about the space around us? And this is something that, I'll be sharing the programs, which are literally quite basics, but I will be sharing my own experiences with, over 20 years of working in this space. So you can kind of start to understand why, to actually go out of the body and look at the environment around you as well. Okie dokie. So let's start sharing so we can dive right in. Where am I? Oh, yeah. Okay, everybody can see my slides. Perfectly fine. Okie dokie. So, as always, tonight we are looking at the energetic space with MagHealy. So the MagHealy, this beautiful little device, I call it a UFO yeah, because when you turn it on with the lights, it actually looks like a UFO. I'll show you. It literally blinks, yeah. So when you have your lights turned off in your home, it literally looks like it's levitating. So I love the MagHealy, and we are going to be diving into the MagHealy this month, looking at different applications. But tonight we are looking at the energetic space, the MagHealy, and how it works. So as always, with every Thursday, a disclaimer. We know that Healy or MagHealy devices are frequency and microcurrent frequency devices or electromagnetic frequency devices, and they are not in any way intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease or medical conditions. But they are beautiful tools that not only support our body, but also our space around us and the coherence between the two. So tonight we are going to dive deeper into that. So my question as always to you, before we dive into this energetic space, is put a 1 into a chat if you do feel the influence of the energy of the space you're surrounded with on your body when you go into different spaces, when you're surrounded with different people, and put a 2 if you actually don't feel anything. So pop a 1 if you actually are affected by the space around you and you actually feel the space, and 2 if you actually have no issues, if you have no sensations, if you don't actually notice anything. 1. Okay, a lot of sensitive people. 2, okay, cool. Something to develop. Okay, so the energy of the space itself, if we believe it or we don't believe it, science actually proves it. Quantum physics is what actually studies the magnetic fields, the energetic space around the body, the bioenergetic field, as well as the energetic space around in our environment, because every single thing in existence that exists on this planet or Earth or universe actually has a magnetic field. And it's really important because we used to think, only living beings have that, but, that rocks don't have that. But unfortunately, the Earth is the third rock from the sun, and it has a huge magnetic field that influences not only us, but also the universe around us. So let's look at what energetic space really is. So as you know, I like to go into a bit of a definition so you can kind of understand what that is around you. Oh, I need light. So energetic space in this definition, yeah, so there's different definitions, but what we are looking at tonight is literally defined as the energy of the space that surrounds us when we enter a house, a room, or an area. I'm going to define this one a bit better as well, because it's not just the closed environment, and is often referred to as either ambient energy or environmental energy. And this concept of this ambient energy actually encompasses the overall feeling, the atmosphere, the vibe, some people call it, that we actually perceive in a space. So for example, I don't know, if you ever walked into a space like a shopping center and all of a sudden you felt like, ooh, there's different energy here, right? It was not like, it was kind of heavy. Or you walked into a room where kids were playing and you were like, ooh, this is so fun, it's like bubbly, yeah? So those are all aspects of the ambient space, and we sense them, yeah? If you're not in tune with them, that's okay, but your body still feels them, even if you can't put them into words, even if you can't define them, even if you're not in tune with them logically or on a conscious level, your body is still affected by them. So why is ambient energy so important? So these are some of the aspects that are really important of why we are looking at the space around us. And the first one is actually the subtle energy. So subtle energy actually refers to the non-physical things. So things that we can't see, it's not tangible, we can't, hold and move. And it's literally the energy that it's hold within the space. And that energy is actually influenced and can be influenced by either history of the location or the dwelling itself, the emotions of the occupants, and the physical elements present. So why I'm saying that, I don't know if you ever went to an old house, and when people say, houses are haunted, yeah? So what happens is that if houses are haunted or there's a really strange energy happening, is that location or that dwelling has been imprinted or influenced by the energies of the past, yeah, or the people that would live that. So there's different elements of how you can influence the energy, but the energy has a memory, right? Because it holds data. So it can hold memories, and if the energy is not cleared and filtered, it will hold memories for a long time. And that depends also on other aspects that we're going to look at. So another aspect of ambient energy and why that is important and why we are looking at it is actually energy imprint. So think of it as leaving your mark wherever you go. Like, when you start building a house and a cat walks over the concrete and you can still see the imprints and the paws of the cat. So the same thing happens in energetic space. We just can't physically see it. So it's really intangible and it's something really hard to imagine, but that's exactly what happens. But we have the capacity to actually feel that and read the energy of the space, and actually feel and read those imprints on the space. So as we said, the energy holds data like our DNA. And it can retain energetic imprints, for example, from past events or emotional conflicts or experiences of people who have occupied them. For example, I don't know if you ever had the feeling, for example, if you were meeting with friends and before you entered the house, those, for example, a couple just had a conflict or they had an argument. So as soon as you walk into the room, you would feel the energy that something happened. You might not know what, but you can feel that something happened. So that's an imprint onto the energetic, electromagnetic field. So we can actually read that through the energy around us. Our body has those senses. And also, for example, vibrational frequency. So every space has its own unique vibrational frequency, meaning that, for example, if you would give yourself, if I give you 10 different houses that are completely new, and you would need to choose a house that feels right for you. Yeah. And they're all the same houses. They're just one next to each other. They're all orientated the same, but they have different numbers on it. And you would go into each and every house and you would feel the energy in there and you would choose intuitively saying, this is the house I want to live in. So we can't actually physically, logically explain why we chose that house, but our physical body knows. Like every number, every word that we choose, every orientation, the colors in the space, the position of things in the space, the position of the dwelling itself, everything has a frequency and everything has a specific vibration. And combining those frequencies actually creates like a bundle of frequencies that come into the package of vibration, and we choose that based on, there's few ways to choose it, but it can interact. So the frequency and the vibration of that space can interact with our personal energy field. So there's two ways that it can interact. So normally when we choose our space or where we're going to live, let's talk about the house, right? Because we're looking at the spaces today, is we tend to either choose based on how we want to feel and our future self of what we actually vibrate already on a higher frequency, meaning not bad or good, is just seeing ourselves as a different person. So we want to achieve that. So we kind of check in and our body actually says, this is what we want to work on and really build towards that. And the other option of the vibration can also be that, for example, we have certain contractive energies within our body that are emotions that are suppressed, right? We talked about this in the past. And we might not consciously be aware, but normally we are drawn to certain spaces that either enhance our energy or they actually help us process those suppressed emotions in order to actually come back to balance. So I know that doesn't feel logical, but it actually happens on an intuitive level. So, and that's what numerology is all about, right? And astrology and all of that, and feng shui and all of that. It's literally looking at the energy of the house. And the next one is feng shui energy. So the feng shui, for those of you who have, Chinese background or you have studied feng shui or Chinese philosophy, this is actually the life force energy that flows through the space. So as we know, everything has a magnetic field and the energy moves through the space as it moves through the body, and it actually connects to everything around us. So when we understand how energy moves through the space, we can adjust or adjust or move things around in a way that actually suits our own vibration and supports our home for the better. So we don't have to go through a challenging time. So it actually balances everything in order to support us. So these are thousands and thousands of years old practices that have been working pretty intensely, and we can manipulate energies with different things. So understanding and having the knowledge of the space is something that actually can benefit us immensely, yeah? To bring balance into our life, to bring balance to our well-being. And also electromagnetic energy. So this means electromagnetic energy because we all have electromagnetic fields, be it natural or man-made electromagnetic fields, because artificial magnetic fields can be agitating to the body. We can have two, hypersensitivities to electromagnetic fields depending on the frequencies that are coming through our body. And if we have over agitation of magnetic fields, electromagnetic fields in our environment, it actually can affect our sleep. It can affect our emotional well-being, our thought patterns. It can even affect our relationships and conflicts that we have. So I have bachelor's in interior design and architecture. And I remember, for example, when we were drawing blueprints, you were always meant to look at, where would you put the bed? And the bed would never, it was a no-no to put a bed onto the wall which had the, installations of water in there, or even like electrical, like kitchen things, like electrical things in the wall, because all of that has magnetic fields. Water also has, like especially moving water, has a magnetic field, and that is a disturbance into your own magnetic field, meaning you won't be sleeping well, and it can actually affect your health long term. So having a look at the environment that you're in is something that actually affects the overall ambient energy of your space, because if the energies are not flowing properly, you want to look at that, because otherwise you won't be feeling well. So then we have geomantic factors, which are literally, yes, feng shui, which is the orientation. There are other practices as well, but it can also be the orientation of northeast, so north, south, east, west, because we're going to look at a bit later why that is important, especially when we are looking at the space we are existing in, and the connection to the magnetic field of the earth itself. Because if we're looking at the factors of positioning, we understand that the ambient energy of the space can be literally influenced not only by all the other factors that we talked about, but also of geographical location. So where are you located? How is the energy moving there? Because, for example, there are what we call ley lines or dream lines around the earth, which are like veins of the earth, which are energetic veins that actually have a stronger effect. Yeah, so there's like a stronger magnetic field there, and some of them are intense and can be agitated to your body depending on where your frequency is. But sometimes these ley lines are amazing, because all the Aboriginal people actually know that you get a lot of information and connection to the spirit through that, and there can be a lot of beautiful healing going through that. So electromagnetic fields, especially of the earth, are actually something that help the body balance back to where it needs to go. But it can also be disturbing if we are, for example, also on a water. So in Europe, it's like 10, 15 years, there's a place called which is Sarajevo, which is in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and just outside of the Sarajevo capital, there's a place which they call Sarajevo pyramids. Yes, they're actually truly pyramids, and they're actually older than Egyptian pyramids. But what is really interesting is they built tunnels underneath, and those tunnels have these huge boulders that are made of ceramic, and the ceramic, they have tested it, and the ceramic is actually not of earth. So, and it's made out of one piece, and it's all curved and it's smooth and there's no edges. The thing is, what they've done is measured why those boulders were actually sitting in a specific location, because when they were measuring the oxygen in those tunnels underneath the pyramids, the deepest part of the tunnel had more oxygen than outside of the pyramid. And it is really, really natural space. And it's what they found is also those boulders were sitting right on the top. So underneath that, under the boulders, underneath the earth, there were crossways of water. So when the water crosses, like it literally, it goes, two rivers come to one. There's a frequency that's really agitating to the body, and those boulders were actually neutralizing the frequency of the water. So it's really fascinating to observe how frequency was in the past. We know that has been used quite frequently, and it's really important to understand that having water or specific ley lines or geographic locations can influence our health and well-being. So it's really important to understand our environment. And then, of course, an emotional atmosphere and energetic resonance. So emotional atmosphere just means that the emotions we actually bring into the space, you know, how we treat each other as in relationships where we live, or, you know, what kind of relationships are in at work, for example. So if there are agitated relationships, you will feel the energy in the space to be agitating. And of course, energetic resonance, which literally just refers to our own personal bioenergetic field, and the interaction of our personal and a bioenergetic field, and the alignment or the misalignment with the energy of the space. As I said, we can resonate with certain spaces, but we don't resonate with others. So why is that? So sometimes we vibrate on a specific frequency that might be contractive. Yeah. So for example, if we live in fear, shame, guilt, those frequencies are quite contractive. If we have a lot of emotion suppressed, trauma in the body, those frequencies are quite contractive. So that doesn't mean it's good or bad. It's just we are vibrating on that frequency. And if, for example, I'm vibrating on that frequency, having a lot of trauma and living in fear, and now I'm going into a space where there is an expansive frequency, a lot of joy and expansion, and, you know, a lot of fast-paced movement, because the higher the frequency, the more movement there is more waves and really shorter waves, meaning that what can happen, right? So I could get triggered, I could start crying, I could get agitated, because the frequency are not matching. So our bodies are always trying to connect to the environment around us, either find a coherent frequency to actually balance, or they start resonating and oscillating with the same frequency of the environment. So that's why, for example, when we look at sometimes in business, or in life, people say, you know, you are the sum of the top 5 people that you actually surround yourself with. So that's the frequency that your body is starting to oscillate and actually connect and vibrate and find coherence with that. So it's really important to understand, because that's how we also change frequency within our lives. And I witnessed that in my own life, and probably you did too. So that's why it's really important. I wanted to go through this, because all of this is impacting not only the space you live in, but yourself, and on your energy levels, your health levels, your emotional levels, your moods, your mental patterns. All of that is influenced by the space you live in. So that's why it's so important to prepare the space you live in to be as coherent and as balanced as possible and safe as possible, so you can actually heal and transform faster. Okay. So if I look at that house on the left, would you live in there? And if you wouldn't, why not? Pop in the chat. I want to know if I'm glowing. Oh, probably I'm glowing. It's probably from a light that I have from the glasses. But would you live in that house? And if you would, why would you and why wouldn't you? So we need to understand that, you know, our bodies are drawn to certain things. No, it's broken. It's broken and old. Okay, but if you fix it, do you think it's going to fix the environment of the energy of the space? No, I don't like to. Okay. It seems haunted. Okay. We're not living that out. No, okay. I'm not forcing anyone. I'm just asking. Negative. Okay, so what is negative? I like the energy of the space. Electrical wires. Okay. Okay. So it's really interesting when we start using words is the negative. So I would really invite you to start digging deeper into what the negative energy is. Because if we're only using the same words, remember, words have frequency. If we're using only the same words, we are really not defining the space that we live in, and we can't shift it. So negative energy, I don't feel motivated here, non-productive, okay? Looking dull and dark. Okay, so does dark mean safe, unsafe? How does your body respond, right? So we are trying to teach our body to communicate with us. Why am I doing this? Because MagHealy, especially the atmospheric program, and I've found that a lot of people come to me and say, I don't feel anything. Yeah. So I'm teaching you because those subtle things like the MagHealy that actually changes within the atmosphere, it changes not only the space, right? Because remember, we're going to look at how things change, but we are influencing now not only the magnetic field of the space, because we are in the space, we are now influencing the magnetic field of our own body. So in really understanding and checking in with ourselves, in going, okay, so how does that feel in the body? If it's negative, what is negative? What do I like? What I don't like? If it's not motivational, okay, so it's not motivating me. What would motivate me? So you can actually start exploring the spaces and understanding the space that you walk in, because normally we don't think about the spaces we live in and we just automatically go in there. We don't think about anything. But I really want you to, from today till next Thursday, I'm giving you love work, not homework, love work. So you can actually start exploring the space you live in, the space you go to, your friends, your family, and just take a breath when you come in and just try sensing how you feel and what you feel, and start writing down. Yeah. And then when you actually observe your own space and you start using MagHealy, if you do have it, then you can start comparing your responses of your body and seeing the difference and the change within your environment. Yeah, because those are really important things to notice. Okay, so how do we perceive the energetic space? If you don't know, this has actually been researched. We think of hormones as the physical element of the body, right? Because the body makes hormones. The hormones are only in the body. They influence us within the body. So they've been studying through quantum fields, and they've actually found that if, for example, my bioenergetic field, and I feel completely balanced and I'm calm, and now I'm actually stepping into a room, and in that room, there's a person that is really stressed and agitated and anxious, and that means that their cortisol levels are quite high, which is a stress hormone. If I step into that room, I can actually be influenced by that bioenergetic field of that person. And what happens is that the information of that stress travels through my bioenergetic field into my body, and I can actually start producing cortisol just because I was in vicinity of that person. And not only that, even if that person leaves the room and the intensity of stress was high enough and the imprint on the energetic space of the environment was strong enough, even certain amount of time after that person leaves, my body can still absorb that cortisol and start producing the anxious feelings within the body. So it's really important to understand how our environment and people around us influence us. Why I'm saying that? Because you probably got feelings and sensations in the body when you step into the room or, meet with a person. So how do you notice that? For example, you can have feelings of comfort or discomfort within the body. You can feel tense, you can feel anxious, you can feel like you want to move away. Yeah. So your body will always tell you. You can also experience changes in your mood or energy levels. For example, you can get irritated or agitated, or you can start crying, for example. You can get triggered, you can get angry, you can get tired, or you can become hyper energetic. Yeah. And also, we normally get intuitive impressions of like gut feelings, right? When we step into the house like that, we just go, I want to get out. Yeah. So that gut feeling will always want to protect you and will always guide you well what you need to do in the space, because you are reading the energetic field of the space through your bioenergetic field. You can also get physical sensations like, tingling or heaviness in the body, or you become light, yeah, depending on the frequency of the space. You can also feel like emotional responses, like I said before, crying, triggering. You can also feel really calm and you don't want to leave. Like that's my house, for example. Everyone that comes to my house, because I have vortexes and things energetically set up, plus MagHealy running, people come to my house and they spend like 4-6 hours and they don't want to leave. Yeah. So we kind of spend like 45 minutes at the door saying goodbye. So because the energy of the space, it's calming them, right? Because I have filters everywhere. So I have a safe space for myself. And I also am really, really diligent and really, really choosy who I invite into my house, because I know exactly what happens in an energetic space. If somebody comes into my house, either they, come in and they have a lot of heavy energy within them. It's not good or bad. It's just I know that my energetic space that I have set up will start filtering. And I know that when they leave, I will need to filter the entire house, set up the MagHealy in order to actually start balancing the space back, because their energy influenced my space. So I'm just saying, so you can start understanding what we are actually going to do with MagHealy when you turn it on. So when you actually have some experiences coming up, that you don't either panic or that you're not surprised. Yeah. And of course, for example, being energetically drained, or you can feel elevation. Yeah. So that happens normally if you go to shopping centers where there's so many different energies, and normally agitation is quite high, because shopping centers also play music that is specific for, they use frequency and that as well, like smells and music, vibration, frequency and vibration, right? To actually make you purchase more and things like that. So those are tactics that have been known for a long time. Yeah. So that also influences the space of the shopping center. So for me, shopping centers are like an hour max. Yeah. And then I'm out. That's kind of where I am. But it influences a lot of people. Yeah. So just something to be aware of when you move through spaces. Okay. I'm not going to go deep into this, technical stuff, but I just wanted to show you how MagHealy actually does its work. So MagHealy in itself works on a magnetic field that looks like this. Yeah. So it's in a shape of a torus, which is literally like an apple or a bubble around you. And magnetic fields have a specific movement of energy. So they're electromagnetic. So magnetic fields move from north to south. Electric energy moves from east to west. So you see how you have vectors going up and down and crossways, yeah? And electrical energy and magnetic energy are intertwined. They work together, yeah? They actually create each other. They complement each other. I'm just going to make it really simple for you. So this is exactly how it looks like when MagHealy is turned on. It creates a torus field because of 2 coils in there. Well, you can create a magnetic field with just 1 coil, but there's 2 coils in there, and they're different coils than the Tesla coil that you have in your beautiful, wearable Healy. And these coils, well, why they're 2? Because first of all, Marcus, when he actually had the idea of MagHealy, this was like 2013, he met Carolyn McMaken, I think it was 2014, and he had the idea of creating her programs, which are frequency-specific microcurrents, which are 2 frequencies, specific frequencies, transferred through microcurrent. That's how she does things, and we're going to look at McMaken another day. But MagHealy was actually created for McMaken programs. And then he figured out that a lot of other different programs can be transferred through magnetic fields as well. And the atmosphere programs, which are influencing the space, actually are carried out through electromagnetic field. And these are the programs that actually have the largest electromagnetic field, because it's not the intensity that's important, it's the information that's carried through the magnetic field, because we are changing the energy of the room and we are changing the energy of the bioenergetic field. So MagHealy with atmosphere programs actually uses the quantum noise generator, which is literally the quantum sensor within the MagHealy, and actually analyzes the field, the electromagnetic field of the room and the electromagnetic field of the people in the room. And then it actually finds the right frequencies, not only for the person or people, and not only for the room, but actually the harmonic balance between both. So it actually scans everything, finds the right frequencies in order for the people in the room as well as the room to become harmonic. So that's a bit complex, but that's how it actually works. That's why it affects everyone in the room. And if you, for example, run the family harmony program, or kids playing. So the family harmony program, and I have this experiences, not only myself, but with other people. Even if kids will be fighting or things happen, if you run family harmony, all of a sudden everything gets quiet. So it becomes really balanced. So it actually balances all the connections in the room together with the energy of the room. And they are actually programs that you can run in infinity. We're going to look at that later. But in itself, so how does the Healy affects the magnetic field that acts directly on the subject in the room? So let's look at the subject. So people in the room. So the electromagnetic field actually communicates with your meridians and the structured water or the coherent water molecules in your body. So what is structured water and what is coherent water? It's just a different type. It's what we call the 4th stage of water. It's what we call the crystalline water or plasma. So it's like blood. Yeah, the blood is not water, so it's plasma. So it has a different structure. And that structure, we're not going to go deep into it. We have also videos in Healy Academy that tells you exactly how that works. But the most important thing is that it actually helps to restructure the water within your body, to make it send signals to harmonize and change the structure back to where it needs to be. Why is that important? Because it influences the meridians in your body. And the meridians are the pathways of energy through your body, and the meridians are connected to your bioenergetic field. We had this before. So MagHealy has an amazing effect on not only your whole entire body and the information within the body, but also you are vibrating frequencies outside of your body into the energy of the room. So MagHealy has an ability to actually find bridges between both. So we are more than 60% water, and that water is quite different than the water you drink. Yeah, it's not the body water is structured if we are in balance as much as possible. But when we are out of balance, the water loses structure. Yeah, so that's also something that means that it loses the potential to move the information through the body. It also, as I said, the atmospheric programs which connect the meridians as well as the energy in the room, they use the quantum analyzed frequency. Analyzes frequency. I think it is. I forgot about it. And it's not analyzing. I think it's quantum analyzing frequencies. So what it does, it literally just means that it's analyzing the quantum field around you. Yeah. And you will see that in MagHealy, you have the QAF signal, like the icon in the programs next to the programs that are QAF, which are all atmospheric programs, as well as I think it's classical, if I'm not mistaken. And we want to have the harmonizing frequencies, right? Because that's what is all about. Yeah. And if you want to look at the studies, you can look at the studies in Healy, the Healy Academy. Healy has done a lot of studies with MagHealy, and the results have been amazing. Yeah. A lot of changes with MagHealy, although you might not feel it, just letting you know. And also, again, MagHealy influences the room. What it actually does and how you can use it in the room is really important. If you look at your space at home, so if you want to clean out things, if you want to change the frequency of the space, make sure that you look at your space according to the magnetic and energetic energies. So as we say, magnetic energy comes from north to south, and electric comes from east to west. And that doesn't matter if you're north or south of the earth, yeah? Because when we look at, this is the North Pole, which is the northern pole of the torus field of the earth. And this is actually a negative charge. So it goes down, so the energy, I'll show you. So, I don't know if it actually works. Does it? Yeah. So you can see how it goes out and it goes in, and it goes out and goes in. So this is how it actually changes the current, and it actually keeps going to filter the energy and keeps moving the energy, so it keeps the shape. So everything happens in the same way around our body, around our animals, around our house, around everything you want. Yeah. So if you look at that, make sure that within your home you find the north, and if you have windows there and you look at the east, the northeast, or the center of the space of the room, of the house, should be empty, because this is what it's like, the torus field, like, you have the torus around, and then the center of the tornado is actually empty. Yeah, there's literally energy just goes around. It's like a tornado's eye. So make sure that your space is empty in the middle. And if you are charging water, which we're going to look at the water in one of our next sessions, but charging water is best in northeast or north or east positions. So this is what actually, it belongs to the water aspect, and it's the best place to actually charge your water, because it's naturally absorbing the frequencies that the water holds and the memories. Okay, now let's look at the programs. So now we understand the space we are living in influences us, and the way we feel influences the space. So I'm just going to go quickly. You have the descriptions. They're quite good descriptions, so we're not going to go into depth in those, because they're literally just frequencies to harmonize the space you are living in. But they're really powerful frequencies. So imagine thinking of your space first before you just run frequency out of here. So I wanted to actually share this. So if you're actually wanting to clear out your space and have energetic clearing of the space, there's an energetic clearing program that I would encourage you to use. So I have my own things in my house set up, but if you don't, that's okay. Yeah, so you can run the energy clearing program on an atmosphere, which you can see it says infinity. Yeah, so you will not have any length, it's not going to stop. So you can run these programs with MagHealy on a charger. So you don't have to put it off the charger. MagHealy can charge and you can run it. Yeah. So because it's a long program, it's an infinity program, and you can leave this throughout 24 hours. Yeah, you can set it up in the middle of the room, and you can do each room if you want to, or you can just set it up in the middle of your apartment or the middle of your house and actually set an intention to move the frequencies throughout the house. So although MagHealy only has 1.5 meters of the radius, yeah, so it's 3 meters on both sides, you want the MagHealy to be in the center because the magnetic field goes in circles out, yeah. No matter what, Marcus Schmieke says that when we influence a specific amount of space, the particles around that space, which are a part of the space, will start resonating with that frequency anyway. So don't worry about the logical part, or it only goes 1.5 meters, yeah? Because the entire space, it's a bubble anyway. So if you're influencing majority of the space, it's going to influence the rest of the molecules in that energetic space as well. So if you are actually wanting to clear out your house or your apartment, make sure that you put energy clearing on for at least about 12 hours to 24 hours, yeah? Keep your MagHealy on a charger and keep it cleaning, yeah? So I also would recommend after that to then, if you have family, to actually go and do family harmony, yeah? And you can run that, for example, for half a day or a day. So you can actually prepare the space of what you would like to have in your apartment or your home. And make sure that when you actually start running this program, remember, intention, we're working with quantum field. Set a clear intention of what you want to have in this home, because you are bringing in the energy. So your intention matters because this home is attached to your energy. So make sure you're using your intentions. And then, of course, if you are electrosensitive or you have a lot of devices, things running all the time in your home, you can run electrosensitivity here and there for the space as well. This will actually help you discharge things, which is really important. And then, of course, coherence. So if your position of the house, it's not really open towards the north and east, yeah, because north and east should be the most light spaces in your house. If they are not, that's okay. You can run coherence program after you run energetic clearing, run coherence program, so you can actually balance the energies within, so the positioning of the house. So you can balance the energies within your home, yeah? And then, of course, you can choose different programs of your choosing of what you want to bring in your space. Remember, these are atmospheric programs. You are influencing the space that you live in, and including yourself. So, for example, I run car when I'm on a long drives, for example, in the car. I also run energy clearing in my car when I go into shopping centers. And honestly, my experience, it saves me a lot of energy. Yeah, I'm not as tired as I used to be when I run energy clearing after shopping in the shopping centers. So that's mine. And I really love that because there's a lot of, I normally don't talk about this, but it's a lot of entities that actually stick on me because of the frequency change. So, and then also chakra balancing. If you're feeling like things are not right for you and feel like you want to actually balance your energy within the space and yourself, because remember, the better you feel, the better the energy within your space. Run chakra balancing. It's actually really amazing. It helps to balance not only the chakras, but also the energetic field, bioenergetic field. So this is not like the aura scan that you do so you can look at all the patterns that are blocking you. This is literally just balancing the energies, the harmonic frequencies within the body and in your space. Because the better you feel, the more energy you have, the better you can actually hold the space within your home. And then, of course, if you have, if you're studying, this is a great program. It actually helps the frequencies of the brain, so you can actually hold memory better. Creativity is great. I use creativity and prosperity when I'm doing like meetings online, when I have brainstorming sessions, when I'm actually planning things for the business. I run normally office when I'm literally working in the office and I have blocks of time that I need to focus. And I like having that burst of energy to actually have the flow. I haven't done the workout one yet because I'm always around and not at home, but you can, if you want to, that actually supports your workout environment, meaning that you have more motivation, you feel more positive, you also have a burst of energy within the body, right? Because you're influencing your energetic field. Family harmony is amazing. Children training as well. It actually influences the relationship. So there's groups of programs for eating and your pantry and kitchen and influencing the food, which is literally how we actually invest energy into our body. So how we are preparing the food, remember, more love we put in, the more tasty the food is. And we can eliminate those extra frequencies that are not supposed to be there, that actually influences our health. Pantry, you can run pantry because it actually helps to prolong the shelf life of foods, yeah? And you can run it twice a week if you want to in the pantry. Kitchen is if you're cooking. Food cleansing is if you, for example, want to cleanse the food before cooking, or if you want to cleanse the food when it's already cooked. And you just want to eliminate the extra energies and preserve the food and the intensity of the energy within it. And eating is the relationship to eating and the relationship around the table. Yeah, so the connections, the energy of the connection. And then we have the atmospheric program too. These are then groups of your health and relaxation. Of course, coherence is for the space. The stress, so for example, if you have conflicts at home, something happens, I would normally run stress, because then I'm cleaning up the energy that was actually opened, yeah, because we have conflicts, there's like agitation, and normally we actually bring energy up that's suppressed, which we get triggered, that's why conflict happens. So, and our body gets stressed. So, and then we have the imprint of that energy within our space. So I would normally run stress, and then I would run energy clearing. Yeah, so you can do like each of them for half an hour. You don't have to leave them for 24 hours. Yeah, like after the conflict, you can just run that so you can clear the space and things can settle down. Yeah, and let me know how you feel, because I feel completely different. Like for me, energy calms down and it's much easier to either have a conversation, or I don't feel tired after conflicts. So that's my approach. Yeah. You can use it the way you want to. If you feel like stress at work and you come home and you want to actually relax, have a relaxed space so you don't feel stressed in your body, that's a great one as well. Yeah. So electrosensitivity is great to run once a week, especially after a long week. If you're working in a job 9 to 5 in, cities, especially a lot of 5Gs and stuff, that's actually a really good one too. Animal harmony, of course, if you have animals. If you have a lot of plants, literally this works with the coherent water of the plant, so it actually enhances the environment of growth. Yeah. And of course, sleep is amazing. You can run it throughout the night if you want to, and it actually balances the environment for sleep, making it relaxation. Yeah, you can run a relaxation just before bed to actually help your body prepare for sleeping, so you then actually go into deeper sleep and regenerate better. Holistic health is just a holistic health of your body and as well as the environment, so you can actually balance every aspect of your body. I think that's about it. And then this is Healy's, Healy Corporate guideline on how to use MagHealy. You can do a mini protocol. And what they recommend is in the morning, do energy every other day and electrosensitivity during the weekend. And then during noon, you do coherence, so it just brings you back into alignment with everything that you are. And then the evening, you can do the exchange of interchanging relaxation and holistic health. So you're taking care of your body and regenerating after a full day. So that's a mini thing that you can do. If you want to, you can use MagHealy the way you want to. Yeah, there's no right way or wrong way. I would really just trust your body where you are. And that's about it. Let's look at some questions. I'm just going to stop sharing. and see, pull up your hand if you need to. I'm just gonna look at if there's any questions through here. If not, just bring your hand up and I'll unmute you so you can talk. Looks fine. Looks fine to me. I love that, Jeffrey. For the house, it looks fine to me. Okay, Candy Blaze says, my home is my sacred place. Yes, my home is my sacred place too. Any for electronics getting fault one by one. Anything for electronics getting fault? I don't know what that question is, goddamn buddy. Okay, so that's Healy. If there's no questions, I have found sleep very effective for stressed people. Yes, because sleep helps you to regenerate, right? So sleep is what we want, right? We want to sleep. So if you're stressed and if you feel like you're agitated and things like that, sleep is the first thing you need to start working on, right? Because without sleep, nothing else will work, because the hormones will not work, because you have it in the brain, your memory will not work, your energy will not work. You need sleep, yeah? Okay, so if that's it, that's nothing, no questions, then we're done for tonight. How many days required to reduce sugar control? I don't know what that means, so I can't answer that question. Regarding the positioning of the MagHealy, is it just for energy clearing program? Well, energy clearing can mean energy clearing of your energy. It can mean energy clearing of the space, because it's an atmospheric program. But that specific program, if we look at the... I wanted to show you something else, forgot. Okay, so if we look at the definition of this program, it actually says harmonization of the energetic memory of the space to balance negative frequencies. Negative, yeah, meaning not harmonizing frequencies of the space that are influencing the body. So yeah, energy clearing, it's affecting the memory of the space, so the imprint of the space. So for example, this one's actually really good when you're traveling. So if you go to hotels or apartments or Airbnbs, I actually take this with me and I literally pop it on the bed in the hotel and I leave it there for the rest of the day until I go to bed to actually clear out everything. Yeah, because I feel things in hotels and the imprints there I don't like. So I do my own stuff and then I put MagHealy on it and then it does its own job as well. We'll go to run for prosperity. So prosperity, there's no protocol. I use it intuitively. So I always I use prosperity either when I'm meditating, so when I'm focusing my intention, yeah? Remember, we are still working with the quantum field and an electromagnetic field. Remember, through manifestation, we had the training there. It's literally, yeah? The electricity is the emotion that chooses what you want to create out, pull out from the quantum field. The magnetic energy is what actually brings it back into your body, but you need to actually be in the body. So meditation is an amazing tool to get you into that space, because when you meditate, you focus on your heart, you use your breath. And with that, you're actually expanding your bioenergetic field, because your heart is actually the largest, how do you call it? Not pump, but it's not even pump, but it's the largest vortex and the amplifier of your energy and magnetic field. So they've measured that. So make sure that, for example, I use prosperity while I'm meditating, or I use prosperity while I'm actually doing creative things for my business, for example. Yeah, that's about it. That's how I use it. Can we use chakra balancing at night? Of course you can. So it's an atmospheric program. Just make sure that you pop it on the charger. Yeah, and also, that's what I wanted to share. Okay, let me stop and I'm going to share this. So with the manual, where are you? I lost something. Where did I lose that? How do I do this? Where are you? Okay. So that's strange. How could I share this? Here. So this is your MagHealy guide. You can get this in the pink app. Yeah, I'm going to show you how. I'm just going to show you right now this. So you have all the programs in here. So this is the classic. We're going to take a look at classic another day. I'm just looking at the atmospheric. Okay. So it will tell you, so duration, for example, is infinity because it's atmospheric, but it also shows you the intensity, 30% to 100%. So MagHealy, you don't need to run it on 100%. So I run certain programs on 100%. I run certain programs on 30, 40%, yeah, or 50%. So the lower the intensity of MagHealy, the longer the battery will last, just letting you know. But at the same time, if you run all of it on 100%, of course, you're going to have to charging it every night, yeah? Normally, it says in the manual it should be charged in 60 to 90 minutes. I don't think that's the truth. Mine charges in about 6 hours, yeah? And I have a really fast charger, yeah? But it's really important to know that because you only get the cable with the MagHealy, yeah? You don't get the, how do you call the thingy that you plug into the socket, yeah? The adapter is actually what you need to look at. So it needs to be really strong adapter so you have a fast charging. So if you don't have the strong adapter, you don't have fast charging. So the cable will not charge you fast if you just plug it into something that's really basic. Yeah, it might take you 24 hours to charge it if the adapter or the plug-in is not strong, just to let you know. So I have my Mac really charges fast. So I just use that cable for my MagHealy. So Mac and MagHealy. So Apple computer, and then their chargers are really fast. So I just use that for my MagHealy, and it charges really fast. So when I have my atmospheric programs, I just leave it on the charger and I run it, yeah? But make sure we're going to look at that for the body specifically when we look at the programs for the body. You don't need to have it 100%, yeah? Just letting you know. It's not only because of the battery, it's also when you are actually having it on the body, you don't want to not overdo it, but overstimulate your nervous system, especially if you're combining it with the Healy, yeah? And you can combine it with your own personal Healy, and I found really, really beautiful results when I combine it together. Yeah, and we're going to look at that when we look at the body. But you can find this in your back office, or I'm going to share where you can find it. So I'm just going to share this in my... Okay, so, oh yeah, Meg, I turned it off. Here we go. So when you log in and you go into the pink app, so this is your pink app, right? The pink wavy app, yeah? So when you log in, come on. Yes, you can see my phone. Okay, so when you log into the Mag, you go into Info Center and you go into the guide. So in the guide, it will literally show you the same thing. So you can actually just run through and it will give you all the programs, and you can see the duration and see how this is for classical, but it will show you the intensity to run. Yeah, so if you ever actually I don't know what to do, how do I run this? Guides. Always in every app you have guides. Yeah, and not only for Mag, you also have that for your normal Healy, just letting you know. So you can actually go in, and this is the best way to actually see what are the recommendations from Healy. Yeah? Okay, that's about it. Okay, any other questions? Can we use chakra? Yeah. Hi, can we use Healy and MagHealy in the same room? Yes, always. I use Healy and MagHealy together all the time. I love running complementary programs on Healy and MagHealy. For example, I would run like kidneys in deep cycle, and I would run vagus nerve, for example, on MagHealy. Or I would run what did I do? Like I did a hormone balancing program the other day on my normal Healy, and I ran the vitality on classical in Mag. Yeah. So combining different programs to actually support your whole body, because there's different information, different applications. Yeah. And you want your body to actually be holistically supported. Why? Because it works faster. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Okay. You do frequently, Jeffrey. Yeah, I know you do. Yes, and please don't overdo the intensity on the Healy while you're running the MagHealy. Yeah, so be mindful of the intensity that you run. I analyzed by Blue App MagHealy programs. It shows animal atmosphere program. Any reason? Well, that's a broad question. So if you have done the blue scan, it comes up with animal atmosphere. There's multiple reasons why that could be. I have no idea what's going on in your life, but if it came up, there must be a connection of frequencies in there. Yeah. We need to understand that there's a list of frequencies in MagHealy atmospheric programs. Yeah. And the quantum sensor then chooses what frequencies are actually beneficial for your bioenergetic field as well as the environment. So when you scan the Blue app, that is also accounted for in when you scan for MagHealy. Yeah, just we are working with quantum field. So I don't know exactly what that would be for you, but obviously if it's coming up, there's something that there for you that your body might benefit. It could be, I don't know, do you have a lot of animals around you in your home? Are these animals having challenges? Are you absorbing that energy on yourself? Is that energy affecting you? So there's so many elements that we can look at because we have the connection between the space and other beings in the space and you in there. Yeah. So we are intertwining, we connect, like we are literally influencing each other. Yeah. So something to think about. We would need how we can use in combined programs. What do you mean combined programs? You mean like Healy and MagHealy? That's what you're asking? So is it okay if I run lung in Healy and lung in Mag? Try it, of course. Like lung in Healy and MagHealy, they're different applications. Yeah. If you want to focus on, remember, right? This is what I've been telling you, like for 10 months. What is your focus? What is your intention? So if your intention is working on your lungs, then of course you want to choose programs that will support that. But if your focus is detoxification, then we need to look at different elements of detoxification. And we also need to support the body in order to actually help to eliminate those toxins. But if we are looking at, hormone balance, we also need to look at, okay, so I'm looking at the hormone balance, but I also need to look at the kidneys because they're part of the hormonal system and they're also our vital energy. So we need to look at, what do we need to do and what our bodies actually need? And normally when we're working with kidneys or we're working with hormones, it's normally because we are too stressed. And too stressed, meaning that our body needs regeneration. So thinking of the programs of vitality, regeneration, things that will actually support the body to come back to balance. So we're going to do a separate workshop in our Facebook specifically on combining the programs. So if that's something that you would like. Appreciate if you can please share the pulmonation programs Healy, MagHealy for maximum utilization. Okay, so there's multiple options of MagHealy and Healy, so I'm not going to give you all the programs combinations, right? But I can give you an approach so you can start using this together. Because I've been doing the training specifically in order to teach you how the systems in your body work. So you can actually go one by one and actually start connecting the dots to understand the body. So I want to teach you how to utilize and use the body's messages, not only your head, because your head will know this much. Your essence, your body knows this much. Yeah. So you need to start looking at that instead of living in a really small container. Yes, thank you. Okay, perfect. We're going to do those workshops next time. Yeah. So there's so many things we need to cover, and I know you're really anxious and want to have everything at once, but unfortunately I'm only one. One, not two. One. And I have my own life as well. So, and I have my own business beside this. So I'm doing my best to actually give you as much as I can, and I think I'm giving you a lot. So sometimes I feel like people are like going, "Oh my God, what else?" Right? But one, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm saying it 10,000 different times, is one is knowledge of information. So gathering knowledge and information. Two is actually implementing that. Because if you're not implementing it, you're not going to learn anything. And you're going to ask me the same question 10,000 different times because you're not getting it in the body. Yeah? You're not actually understanding it within the body. And the third is practice. Play around, explore, do the practice. Because if you're not doing it, you're not getting an experience, you don't actually understand the changes within the body. That's how it works. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be really honest and blunt, but I want the best for you. And the best for you is to empower you. So you actually trust yourself and actually do the work. I'm sorry, I can't do the work for you. You need to do the work. And I know you are capable of this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. Yeah? So just be patient with yourself. Go through things. Yes, ask questions, but first experiment. Yeah, so you can see the feedback. It's like, I don't know, like kids. They build a castle. They don't like it. They throw it away. They crush it down. They build it again. Yeah? It's literally like kids. You need to kind of start bringing the play into your life. Okay, now enough of my rant. Okay, Divine. Here you go. Yachna.
Hey, this is Yachna.
Hello, beautiful.
Once again, how are you? Thank
I'm
you so
great. How are
much.
you?
It's a nice presentation and loads of information pouring in our head, in our mind. I have a couple of questions here. The
Okay.
atmospheric programs. We have the a possibility of analysis also. So supposedly I am going for a blue app. I'm analyzing the appropriate program, and then there is an option of vibrate.
You froze, beautiful. I can't hear you.
Let me just from
Hello?
one. Okay, am I audible?
Yes. So
Am I audible?
I've
Okay.
heard you till the point of we have an option to vibrate.
Yeah, so we have an option to vibrate in the blue app, and we went, and yes, so we have an option to vibrate. So can we vibrate there, or should we just use MagHealy and just the first program in the analysis, we just run that particular program for some days?
Okay. So instead of using your head, yeah? When you think of Blue App and when you think of MagHealy, are they the same? They're not the same.
No, yeah, they're not the same. Blue app actually give the analysis which particular program I can use for me, as in
No,
there are
yes, that is one of the part of things, but Blue App is based on resonance, meaning it sends
okay.
frequency to your body and actually acquire information back from your body in order to find the right resonance frequency for your organs, for your cells, for whatever your body needs. Meaning that if something is out of balance, it's going to find the right frequencies to bring it back to balance. Yeah, and it's a different application. Yeah, where MagHealy,
Yes.
it works. So resonance, it does not work on a magnetic field by itself, right? It's transferring through the bioenergetic field, but it's not a magnetic field on its own. Yeah, where MagHealy creates a magnetic field around you. So when you actually run the MagHealy, what it does, it influences the space around you, the magnetic field around you. It creates a completely different space around you. So it's like hugging you with frequency. So it's like literally, you know, you have this, oh, always the movie comes to mind. You know, when they like all those spaceships and stuff, when you go through this cleaning stuff and then you have this plasma go over you and you have like this, it sucks the negative energy out of you and then you clean. Yeah, that's what comes to mind when I try to kind of understand what magnetic fields do. It's like a frequency hug. So if you're hugging, for example,
I
a child and they are, you know, crying and you are actually hugging them, what does that do to a child? It regulates their emotions so they calm down. Yeah. So the
true.
same thing
Yeah.
happens with MagHealy. It literally hugs you in this bubble. Yeah. And what it does, it sends you information. Like if you're agitated, it sends you information. Oh, it's okay. It's safe. Or it sends you information. Oh, you know, we need to kind of shift this within the body because this is agitating outside of the space and it's agitating within your body. So let's find a harmonic frequency here. So it's a completely different application. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's
So
not one
instead
or
of,
it's
yeah.
not one or the other. So it's a complement. So when you do the blue app, you're sending information to your bioenergetic field saying, hey, this is out of balance. Body, try doing this to actually come back to balance. Where we are applying magnetic fields, we are actually changing the structure of the water and the information within the body and the information around us. So we are literally changing our state of being. We are
Sure.
influencing our state of being. So it's not just information sent through resonance.
Sure. So we can do the analysis, but we should just go and use the MagHealy instead of doing the vibration, isn't it?
So again, so stop using your head. So it's not either or. Yeah?
Okay.
Everything that Healy does is complementary to each other. So when I do my own Healy and I use the pink and the blue app, I use both. I don't just do one or the other because the blue
Okay.
app sends a message to my energy bubble saying,
Mhm.
hey, this is out of balance. We need to change this. And then the pink app sends the message to my cells going, you need to change it. Here's the energy, move it. Yeah. So now all together, now they have the right information. And then they also have the energy to activate their little people in there, you know, in the body to actually go and do the work. Where MagHealy now not only activates the water and the information within our DNA and the body, but it also changes the environment around us because that's what influences our health as well. So sometimes we can influence our health within the body, but our environment can be toxic. So we are trying to shift and shift and shift, but nothing is shifting properly because the environment is influencing us and we always fall back. Yeah. So it's
Yes.
not either or. So it's complementary. All three of them are working together to achieve the goal.
Sure. Okay. Thank you so much. This is completely, you have given loads of clarity. And my second question is, when we charge the water, can we use two frequency at the same water? So supposedly I've charged one particular water with cell harmony or kidney harmony, and the same water, uh, after that 10 minute, I will just do the mental clarity also, the same water.
You can.
You
Like we're
got
gonna
my
look at
question?
the water. We're gonna look at the water later on this month. But
Okay.
water holds frequency. It holds memory, right? For a certain
Yeah.
amount of time. So you can charge as
Right.
many frequencies as you want into that water. But remember, you
Okay.
can charge that into your body as well. Your body holds water, right? So there's
Yeah.
there's elements. We're gonna look at how to use Healy for water in different ways. But
Okay.
yes,
Sure.
you can. There's, you know, if you've check with your body and say, okay, what does my body need? If the body needs both frequencies, do both frequencies, right? There's
Okay.
no limitations on that. Water just holds memories. Just make sure they're all harmonic frequencies. Yeah. So just make sure that you don't like it just time wise, right? It's practical or not practical. That's the only thing. And remember, when you
Okay.
dilute, if you charge the water and dilute it, it's good. And you put a teaspoon of this charged water into a glass of not charged water, the water will change structure either way. Yeah, so we're going to
Okay.
look at the
Yes.
water when we actually go into the water because it's a whole different
Sure.
thing.
Sure. Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
True. Okay. I'm sorry. I have third and last question.
Okay.
Um,
Sure. And then we finished because it's 20 past.
Sure, sure. So, so supposedly I am taking a frequency with the pink app, okay,
Yeah.
and with the bracelets. And
Yeah.
at the same point of time, I'm using the atmospheric frequency with
MagHealy.
MagHealy. So this is
Yeah.
absolutely okay, right?
Yeah, I do it every day. And
Okay, good.
Healy Corporate actually recommends using MagHealy together with Healy, especially Healy with bracelets and MagHealy together. Yeah,
Sure.
I actually
Thank.
love using not only atmospheric programs, even McMaken programs together with bracelets Healy. Yeah, so we're
Oh,
gonna look at
wow.
that in the
Okay.
future. But
We can
just
do
letting you
that.
know,
All right.
of course you
Sure.
can. So it's a great complement of both of them. We're gonna look at that when we look at water. We're gonna look at that when we look at McMaken programs and classical programs. There's some amazing programs in McHealy that I just love. And I will share that when we get to the classic. I'll share that when we get to the water. I'll share that when we go to the McMaken because they're completely different programs. They're specifically made in a different way. And we're going to look at that really in depth. So we're not gonna, I wanted to separate all the modules because they're quite different from each other. Yeah.
Sure,
Otherwise
sure,
I would be here for 4 hours. Yeah. If I talk about Healy all the time.
sure.
Even digital nutrition was like trying to put everything in an hour. It was like, oh, 6 pages of programs, right? So it's a big, big topic. And even MagHealy itself, it's a big topic. And there's a lot of new things coming. Like next week, we're going to take a look at the business suit, which is mind blowing right now. I've been testing it for a month and a half and it's just mind blowing. And it's on
Great.
MagHealy as well as on Healy, which is an amazing complement. And we're going to look at that next week. And it blows my mind still, like seriously. And I've been in this world for a long, long time. And what Healy is bringing out is just seriously, I don't have another word than mind blowing, honestly. And I'm surprised at every single time. So, yes, we're going to look at a lot of things.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Petra. Your trainings are really blessings for all of us.
Thank you for coming and joining me and listening and implementing. That's the most important thing. I need to kind of teach you to implement, not just to listen.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, beautiful people. Thank you, Divan. And okay, so thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for coming. As I said, next week we are tackling the business suit. I'm so excited to share this with you. If you haven't tested it and tried it, if you haven't got the email, I am really excited to actually show this to you. And yes, and then we back to MagHealy a week after. So we're going to tackle all the 4 categories of MagHealy and go into depth so you can understand how to use the programs properly. But that's it for tonight. Of course, as always, if you have any questions, pop them into our Facebook group. You'll find the link in the chat at the top. And of course, if you need anything, the group is there to support you. We have finally over 1,000 members in our group now, and it's beautiful to have you all there. I'm truly grateful and blessed to have you and have a beautiful community that's so interactive and supportive to each other. So next week, business suit, and have a beautiful weekend. Have a great night.